In this video, we're going to do the lattice method of multiplication, which is an alternative to the traditional multiplication that you might have learned in other classes. What I have set up right now is a grid, and if you'll notice I have 789 multiplied by 96. So I'm going to set up a grid that is the same number of digits, so I can write 789 multiplied by 96 down the side. If you look over here in the next problem, which we'll do in a minute, I have a 3-digit problem multiplied by another 3-digit number, so I'm going to have a 3 by 3 grid. So you need to make sure that first you set up your boxes with an appropriate number of digits across and down as you have in your in your original problem. So once you've set up your grid and you've written the digits across, then what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to divide every box from upper right to lower left down through here. So I'm going to actually trace it all the way through here. So if you look, and I'm making these kind of boundary lines here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the next problem as it was. And then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply every combination of numbers here. So if I'm sitting in this block right here, I notice that the column title here is 7, and it's also with the 9 over here. So I'm multiplying in this space, in this square right here, I'm multiplying the 7 times 9, which is going to be 63. So I put the 6 up here and the 3 down here. So in this box here, if you notice, it's sitting with the 8 on top of it and the 9 over here. So I'm multiplying 8 times 9, which is 72. Then over here in the next one, I have it's sitting in this box right here is 9 multiplied by 9. So that's going to be 81. Now I have to fit in the next grid. Here I have, in this box, I have 7 above it and 6 to the side. So in this box, 7 multiplied by 6 is 42. In this box, I've got 8 and 6, so it's going to be 48, which is my 8 times 6. And then I've got 9 times 6 in this box, which is 54. So the last part of this problem is simply to add up all my numbers. Now if you notice, these black lines kind of make boundary lines, like little shoots. So I'm going to make them a little bit thicker and dark here. And this is where I'm going to add up all of my values. So make this really dark and obvious, where I'm adding up the items in the row. So we're going to start here on the far right side. So this far boundary line, I add up this number, which is only 4, so I write it here. Now I'm going to add up this diagonal set. It almost looks like it's coming down a slide in between these two black lines. So I'm going to add the 1 plus the 5 plus the 8, that's 13, 14. So the 4 goes down, and the 1 is going to go into the next chute. Now that's always can be a little confusing because it feels like I want to put it on top of another number. But I've just added this chute. I call them chutes. They kind of remind me of slides, if you will. So I've added down this row here, the chute here, and then I put the 4 down here and the 1 up here. Now if you'll notice, I'm not grabbing the original digits. I'm not grabbing the 7, the 8, the 9. I've left those in blue on purpose because when I add those down, I'm only doing the ones in the boxes, or in this case in red. So here's the 1 that we just put, plus 8, which is 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 4 is 15, 16, 17. So the 7 goes down. I was just in this one, so I'm going to put it over in this area here. It'll be a 1. So 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 3 more is 11, plus 4 more is 15. So I put the 5 here, and then I put the 1 in the next chute, or the next set, if you will. And then the 1 plus the 6 is 7. And so what I have is this series of numbers that are added all the way around that bottom left corner. And that is actually my answer, the 7, 5, 7, 4, and 4. So I just read it as I see it, starting at the top left, 7, 5, 7, 4, 4, and that actually is my answer. So in the next one, I've got the same idea. Like I said, I have a 4-digit problem, a 3-digit number times a 3-digit number. So I'm going to write the first 3 digits up top. I'm going to write the other 3 digits along the side. Again, no matter how many digits you have, you can do this method. You just have to remember to make sure the right number of rows and columns correspond to the numbers in your problem. And then again, we have to take our rows and go top right to bottom left all the way down. Oops, or it'd be a little bit, I'll take that one out. Let's make that a little bit more straight if we can. There we go. And always go from this direction. And so we're going to sit in each block here. We're going to do 4 times 8. That's what's on this row. And this is on the top of the column, so 4 times 8 is 32. In this box, I have 7 times 8, which is 56. In this box, I'm going to have 9 times 8, which is 72. In this box over here, I've got, here it's 4 times 9, which is 36. In this box over here, I have 7 times 9, which is 63. And in this box here, I've got 9 times 9, which is 81. And I just keep going. There's more digits, so I've got more combinations. Here, 4 times 2. Now the answer is 8. So all of these boxes are represented by a 2-digit number. So 8 is going to be 0, 8. Okay, that might be a little bit new here. This number here is going to be 7 times 2, so that will be 14. And then 9 times 2, which is 18. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to darken these rows again just to remind myself that this is the chute. Sometimes if I'm on my paper, I will actually take a highlighter and run them down these lines to remind myself what's the series of numbers that I'm actually multiplying by. Okay, so now we're going to add down the row. Let's switch over to a thinner pencil again. Okay, so again, we start from this bottom right corner. We're going to add here. This chute here is 8, because there's only one digit here. Then again, I'm not grabbing the blue on the outside. I'm only grabbing what's in my grid. So 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 6. Then I go to the next one. 2 plus 8 is 10, 13, 14, and then 8 more is 22. So the 2 goes down, and the 2 goes in the next chute up here. So I'm going to stick it right up there. So 2 plus 7 is 9. Plus 6 is 15, 21, 27. And again, I'm putting the 2 in the next chute up here. 2 plus 5 is 7, 8, 9, and that makes 12. And then I put the 1 up here. 1 plus 3 is 4. So again, I start here around the 4 and I read all the way around. So the answer is 4, 2, 7, 2, 6, 8. So I just write it down in order. 4, 2, 7, 2, 6, 8.